Well, welcome back to Alpha Tenix. In this episode I'm going to be explaining why I'm taking a grinder to the front of my car. Now that the carbon conversion has been completed to the point at which they need to be painted, I'm going to move on to the new project, which is a series of new episodes over the winter regarding, no surprise, rusts. Specifically the crossmember under the radiator, the anti-roll bar mounts, and the front valance, all which have been suffering rust for many years now, as you can see, and need to be replaced. This is a common area for rust on these Alphas, and if you're considering buying an Alpha, always do a proper inspection of these areas prior to purchase and understand the work that is involved. This is a project I've been putting off ever since I've had the car, but I've really not had the knowledge, experience, nor was I brave enough to complete the project myself. So with this in mind, I approached a couple of Alpha specialists and coach builders who quoted me, pre-COVID this was, around £3,000 to do the work. And that's probably not unreasonable considering the amount of work that needs to be done and the skills and knowledge required to do the work. However, to give the car to someone else, it would be an easy route, but that goes against my ambition for this channel, where I want to learn and pass on the knowledge for other people who are embarking on similar restorations. And I will state at this stage that I'm not a fabricator nor a welder. So in fact I have signed myself up to a MIG welding course, which I found through an excellent website called craftcourses.com, which I'm going to be attending in a couple of weeks' time, to give me an introduction and a better understanding of welding, especially MIG welding and stick welding. I'll try and capture as much as I can on film with my strip down and inspections. So please remember to like and subscribe, of course, and I hope you'll enjoy these episodes. Feel free to comment. Many thanks, and here we go. So we're under here and looking at the driver's side, so this is the right hand side wheel arch, and we can see some significant rust here that we need to address. All this really needs to be cut out, so I'm considering cutting right back to here and welding in a new plate. This anti-roll bar bracket here bolts in to a member steel which is welded, and I think probably welded on the inside here, could even be spot welded. There's a seam there. I do have a spot welder, but we'll see how far we need to go. I do have a replacement piece that does run down here. They're easily available. I can see that this car has actually had a front valance repair, so this work may have been done before in the past, but there is actually, I know where I've drawn a white line, but there is actually a weld. I don't know how well that picks up there, a weld mark along there, so I could use that as my cut mark when I cut out the bottom valance. It all depends on how far I do go up cutting out the front of the car. I do have a replacement for the front valance for this car, which I could cut out and follow the similar cut line and then weld a piece in, or I could go up further, but then I've got to consider we've got all these brackets in here, which would be quite difficult then I could go higher along the line here and behind the headlight, and that could be a common place. I do have rust further around the front of the car, which I'll show you now. I do have this problem here which I need to address. Now again, I do have a front valance that goes straight across the front here. It goes around the corner here. It's actually on the roof at the moment, but of the car, goes around and cut. It's a replacement part for all of this. It's just depending on where I want to cut it, so I need to mark out. It would be prudent probably to replace the whole lot, but there are areas where, like on here, it's welded to the bracket that's for the bumper, and again here for the bumper, see it's welded on there, so I'd have to cut that out and reshape that. But yes, this all needs to be replaced, cut out. This seems good up here, so I might end up maybe cutting a profile around. Don't know yet. I'm gonna do some research to see what other people have done for this. But ultimately, all the chrome work's got to come out, the lights, and a whole heap of work. Yeah, I've already started to remove the front light here. And now underneath the front valance, you can, where water tracks down and hits here, all the way to the very end. This is the anti-roll bar. This is an uprated anti-roll bar. I don't know if you can see that, but it's actually not connected there at all. It's the worst on that side, on the left-hand side of the car, than the driver's side. So that all needs to be addressed. I'm going to tackle what I think considered the easiest side first. But yeah, coming back here, there's the mount for the anti-roll bar, just here, so that will come off. I do have some new anti-roll bar mounts, but all needs to be replaced. So again, back into here. A lot of work. I'm going to prep it up now, take the paint off using some rust remover on the end of a drill, so it's a little sandy disc. I've got them here actually. I'm going to use these strip discs. I consider these are going to be better than the wire alternative. I'm going to use both. I've got some small ones, so this goes on the end of a grinder, and these in here are to go on the end of a drill. There we go. These little discs again are corrosion rust remover discs. They're very abrasive and they're great for taking off paint, and they go on the end of the drill, so we'll see how I get on with those. I think these are probably different grades maybe. We'll have to find out depending on what colour it is, but they all seem to have come in one bag. Ooh, little adapter in there. Nice little Amazon present to myself. But there you go. I'm going to have a go at this, so join me in this project. It's the biggest one I'm ever going to do, I think, potentially in this car, but it is important and needs to be done. Another look across the bottom of the car here. You can see a chunk of rust missing out of there and underneath. There you go. More work to do, but it's certainly going to get this car safe, handling well, and looking great for the summer. So a winter project coming up for sure. Again, on the near side of the car, this is the more severe side. The actual anti-roll bar is not even attached to the car. That needs to come out completely. You can see all the way across the bottom there. So this is going to be cut out. New plates made up, put in here. Looks like some existing work has already been done in the past to do some repairs on the front of this car before. It is more than 40 years old, 50 years old now, 1972. So not surprising, this has gone through a few iterations of repairs over the past, as most Alfa Romeos of this era do. So I've got a replacement. I actually put my hand through there, look, that's awful. So the actual rust has eaten away. I've got a replacement part to go under here. It'll mount to the, and I'll have to cut away all of this right back. This is quite a concerning side, and it's more severe than the other side. So yeah, it all has to come apart, cut down here, cut this out, new section to go in there, and a new bottom cross member to go underneath the radiator. You see, look at the radiator there. It's visible from the underside. So a lot of work to do. This is going to be such a big project for the winter. Anyway, it is for me. I'm not a fabricator welder by any means, but this is a learning curve, and this channel is all about learning and DIY. I could get someone else to do it, but what we're going to learn from that, probably not to do it yourself. But there you go. We'll see how far we get with this repair. So there's a winter project. There's the old anti-roll bar mount. I've got new rubbers to go in here, so we're going to be a polybush style to go on there. But for now, just need to get this anti-roll bar out the way, attach it from the drop links here and on the other side of the car as well. There's the anti-roll bar. It's now loose, and all I need to do is just get behind that bushing at that drop link and just prise it off the front. It will just slide out. Both sides are now detached. On she comes. There's one side. Now for the other side. Just getting behind here, the pry bar. Just nudging her forwards, and now she's off. That's the anti-roll bar removed.